Of the more than 500 AMCs worldwide, fewer than 85 are accredited through the AMC Institute, demonstrating the commitment and the ability to deliver the highest level of professional management services to association and not-for-profit clients. These AMCs are the recognized choice of association and not-for-profit organizations.
So when Kristen announced that we would be moving forward in this process and working towards accreditation, what were your initial thoughts about what that would mean for you and for the organization?
I was just excited. I had been hearing a lot about it, and I know that anytime that we can have an opportunity to all collectively kind of see where we're at and move together and really elevate the services that we're delivering, I thought that that was a really great opportunity to kind of collectively take this step together as a team for NPR.
You know, it was something that was always on our wish list, but we could never carve out the time. And now for us being the size that we are, I think it's more important than ever to make sure that we're aligned with the best standards and practices in the industry. So I'm very, very excited that we have finally reached our goal.
It is exciting. So as we worked through the process, we started back in June. And as we started the process and started trying to figure out how we'd go about this, what were in your mind? When did you think that we'd get this? We'd make this happen?
Yeah, you know, when we first started, I thought it was going to be half year, and it was going to be one of those things that as we kept digging in, we were going to have to keep pushing out. And so I actually thought 2022 was going to be our year. And so I think having a dedicated person to lead the project, but also realizing that we were already following a lot of the best practices that AMCI has lined out, I think was super helpful to making sure that we were able to do it by the end of 2021.
Yeah, I think it demystified the process for us, really being able to see it clearly mapped out what we were going to be doing and then taking it one step, one bite at a time. I think that doing it together, training as a team was really beneficial because we were able to ask questions. And a lot of the things that I wouldn't have even thought about or considered was something that we kind of tackled as a group in our team staff meetings. And I thought that that was a really great way to kind of all be on the same page and really iron out things that we hadn't had an opportunity prior to really examine and to make sure that everybody had a really clear understanding of what, not just getting a job done, but what is the actual standard and the best practice in each different area. So I felt like I got a lot more comfortable doing the process together. And I thought that the pop quizzes were very helpful because putting it in a question-like scenario kind of helps you get prepared and get more comfortable with the material.
We were able to roll out our first two checklists. One is the vendor checklist so that we can all go through with our client information and put together a very comprehensive list of the vendors that we work with, something that we can go over with our clients annually on budgeting, help keep track of when we need to vet certain contracts, and just make sure that we have everything in place to meet the partners' needs that we have on board. And then we also are rolling out an internal audit checklist, and this is the one where we are going to be going through the different standards and just making sure that our client files are where they need to be, that we have the information that we need, that our account managers and executives have a good handle on all of the different pieces that are required to be following best practices for our clients and our partners, making sure that we have a good backup solution in place shortly so that we can check that off our list as well. And then some of the things are just simple things like wording in our contracts, conflict of interest. We have it in contract that I could see, but maybe it can be written a little bit more clearly so it just very specifically answers the questions about the standards, that it's in there and it answers the scope of it that it needs to answer for best practices. So it's kind of cool to, as we go through this, to be able to identify these areas that we just need to tweak some, and then some areas that we just didn't have anything really in place solidly, and so we can get that taken care of too.
Yeah, I think having the frequent staff calls to go over the process and all of NPR's policies and procedures and things that we were changing, things that they'd be looking out for and things that we'd be keeping up to date on and how to get our clients ready was a great process for us.
Years ago when we considered it, I was like, gosh, it's expensive, it's time consuming. I don't have time to handle it. My recommendation would be do it, but make sure you put somebody in charge of it and allocate the time every single week for this person to do it. Otherwise, if you try to squeeze it into your everyday duties, it's not going to get done.